So, I stood in a room full of white hairs. I was the youngest there. I was the only woman. These men were C-suite executives representing different industry leaders and government officials. They were listening to me speak. Over the last few years, I have had more than 1,000 coffees with different industry leaders including the FBI chief and the US former President Obama's Chief Information Security Officer. Just recently, I published my book and achieved my lifelong dream of getting this book released out in different parts of the world. And it included the insights of global C-suites, insights on leadership and influence. I was growing fast. I was going for the heights. And in the last 12 months, I was invited to speak in 6 cities, 8 countries, and more than 20 over events. I have blossomed into a tall poppy. Now, I think I see some of you wondering, what do I mean by a tall poppy? I'll get to that in a bit. Welcome to my world. A well-meaning friend of mine recently asked me, he took me aside and questioned, you know, all this feedback that you're getting about the book, I see it popping up in different parts of the world. People are writing in and sending you congratulations. Now, were this feedback real? Were they genuine? Or were people just being nice? So he took me aside and asked me to be careful of this tall poppy syndrome. Now, the tall poppy syndrome is really the expectations that all poppies should grow together. And if one grows too tall, it is cut down to size. This is actually more prevalent in the Australia's culture, where people are expected to embrace the ethos of equality, or to some, the ethos of mediocrity, instead of celebrating successes. So my friend warned me to be careful of not inciting the jealousy of people. Essentially, he was saying, don't be too extraordinary. You want to be careful that you don't want to come across as bragging. Just be average. Now, hearing that, it felt like as if he poured a bucket of cold water all over me. I started questioning myself. Perhaps I should be downplaying my accomplishments. Maybe I should stop being so vocal about my achievements. Maybe it's time to be silent. I should probably cut my own poppy down to size. He explained the iiNet advertisement that was widely talked about in 2011. Apparently, no one likes the number 1, and bragging makes you feel dirty. So they brag about being a number 2. Well, after learning about this, I just felt I should just keep downplaying my accomplishments, and my thoughts just spiraled negatively downhill from there. It went even to the extreme where I started doubting my achievements. Were they really accomplishments? Maybe I'm an imposter. What if I am a fraud? The thing is this, I used to be an introvert. Yes, before I were to go for any new meetings, my palms actually drip with nervous perspiration. You don't want to shake my hand. And my heart just keeps thumping. You know, when I enter into a new environment, my mouth goes dry, my stomach is just churning. I don't know how many of you actually understand how I feel. But it took me a long time actually to overcome these fears. When I was back in Singapore, when I told my friends, this was many years ago, I told them that I wanted to move to Australia. There were 2 groups of people. The first group was genuinely happy for me. They were celebrating, they were encouraging me. And then there was the second group. This is the group that always have an opinion. I don't know how many of you have friends like that. They told me, are you sure you really know what you're getting into? Do you know how hard it is to get accepted? You're not like them. It's a different culture out there. In fact, you don't really drink as much. How do you know you're going to conform to their culture? You will be eaten alive. That is actually what someone said to me. Now, hearing that, I started accepting those thoughts. I started questioning myself. Yes, I'm a minority. I'm Asian. I'm more conservative than most. It sounds like it's a brutal world out there. And look at the male-dominated IT industry that I am in. That is where my imposter syndrome stemmed from. How many of you have felt like you are an imposter? Yeah, thanks for being so real. Imagine waking up every day, having thoughts go through your mind, and you are thinking, will people judge me? What are they thinking about my achievements? I don't think I can ever measure up to people's expectations. Will they find out that I am not who I say I am? What if they find out that I am a fraud? If you have had such thoughts going through your mind before, you have just experienced the imposter syndrome. It took me many years to get myself out of that mindset. I thought that I've overcome thinking about what others think about me. But this is taking it to the next level, because now I'm worrying about what others are thinking about my success. So I felt like I've gone backwards in time. I'm now questioning myself again. I'm self-doubting. It is such a vicious cycle. And at the end of it, it all comes down to just putting too much weight on what people think about you. I've gone quiet. I've lost my voice again. Before I knew it, I've given people the power to steal my voice and to silence my dreams. Honestly, people who are jealous of your voice are insecure. Why do we give so much weight to what people think and not put weight on what we think? Only we are in control of our thoughts. We can never be in control of what others think. Let us change our thinking. Today, we can be who we want to be. And this brings me back to my opening statement. Your voice, your thoughts can be really loud. But do you choose to let your thoughts silence you? Or do you let your voice be louder? It is up to us to decide what do we focus our thinking on. And at the end of the day, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to let that best version shine. And when I'm focused on doing that, then there's no reason for comparison because we are all uniquely different. We are already our harshest critic. I mean, just think about all the thoughts that keeps going through our mind, right? And if we keep holding ourselves back because we care too much about what others think, then we will never go anywhere. Perhaps those who are the quickest to criticize is because they too hold back and talk themselves out of any potential success. The thing about our thoughts is that they are heavily influenced by our upbringing, by our environment, our culture, by even the thoughts of people around us. Our thoughts are constantly going through a state of change. And there's immense implication on our feelings. Negative thoughts can invoke feelings of fear, anxiety, and self-doubt, and they can be very crippling. So, I found my voice. It took me many years. I was launched in a marketplace. I found myself in a really specialized group of women in cybersecurity. And I kept on pursuing my dreams. I ended up being the only women speaker in a number of cybersecurity international conferences. Did I let that stop me? No, I kept going higher. Because at the end of the day, there are always other tall poppies that I can be inspired from. This is my thought now. The air is so much fresher up here. As I grow my poppy, don't want to forget the people who have helped me get me to where I am today. Remain thankful. Be grateful. Show empathy. And as I look to the rest to be inspired by them, I want to find out their stories. I want to be ignited by their passion for success, their hunger for excellence, and how they continuously strive to aspire to be the best version of themselves. We can all grow together, perhaps in different timings, but in the same direction, upwards. The sky is the limit. Today can be a lot of things. You can either say one day or day one. The decision is yours. As for me, I want to just keep evolving. I'm going to use the negative words that people have spoken in my life as soil to grow, to flourish, and to be proud of the milestones that only I can achieve. Let's all be a nation of tall poppies, proud to be seen and unafraid to be heard. In the end, I found my voice. I used my voice to give others a voice to speak as well. In 2017, I founded the Cyber Risk Meetups, which is a platform to bring everyone together from the industry to share their life experiences and to impart to one another, all as part of building the ecosystem. And now we are at nearly 3,000 over professionals, and we are in 6 cities, in Singapore, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, and recently we have just launched in Tokyo as well. So I hope this story inspires you, because we can be that nation together where we can grow together as a nation of tall poppies. Thank you very much.